Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Tat Tvam Asi is a well-known statement repeated by every spiritual person around the world and talking about something which has been explained as I am like God. And as far as I am concerned, who tries to understand Sanskrit at every language from the core itself, I do not believe Tat Tvam Asi means I am like God from phonetic sensation or the works or the writing as such. Since I have found something totally different, and as a result, this particular video is going to be very enlightening, educating, and empowering for anyone who wants to understand spiritual science of Akhand Bharat or Sanatan Dharma, particularly Ved, Upanishads, and some of the philosophies. And I'm going to bring something which is written in internet and spoken by different people, and how I think there are certain things, four Mahavakyas, four greater statements of Sanatana Dharma to the world, the way I see divine mathematics in them. As far as I'm concerned, I do believe Tantra Vidya is a physical structure of the human body and the universe as a Brahman Primand Ek One is a great statement. And similarly, Yantra, converting whole thing to a graphic presentation and animate, semi-animate or inanimate mathematical design is also greatest contribution of Sanatana Dharma. And converting the whole thing into Mantra Vidya, phonetic sound, is also something beautifully designed in Sanatana Dharma. Now, the fourth component which has not been spoken about Akhand Bharat or Sanatana Dharma to the world is Ganit Vidya, the mathematical design. And I am a scientist, a divine mathematician, a person who understands physics, chemistry, medical sciences. As a matter of fact, all the 64 arts and sciences, I think I comprehend better and see divine mathematics as such. And all the results of my search for divine mathematics has come to a conclusion, Divyank, the divine design of nature, which were recognized, conceived, and revealed for the first time in the universe in 2015 only by me as such. And Divyank has made my search for Vedas, Upanishads, and scriptures and medical sciences, or for that matter, divine mathematics, physics, chemistry, which the world should know to a very conclusive level. From that point of view, this particular video is going to be very educating, enlightening, and empowering for everyone who would like to bring uniform education for everyone in the world, perfect research, perfect publications, perfect in everything, so that there is a universal peace for everyone. Vasudev Kutumbam, peace for everybody, perfect education for everybody, no differences. Then, based on their own understanding and other thing, we should let the people work what they understand the best. The education should be the criteria. Vidya dadati vinyam vinyat yati patratam cha dharam utpati cha dharam cha sukham. If you want the sukh for everyone, we need impeccable wisdom of Akhand Vidyashram. And I take pride in saying that searching for perfection, impeccable wisdom has helped me, and I'm sharing only that after experiencing within myself. From that, I said, Tat Tvam Asi. I have written a statement down, an identical divine design of every perfect object of the universe is a big statement. That means every perfect object of the universe, whether it's the human body, or for that matter, solar system, or for that matter, spiral galaxy, or great Brahman, as well as Brahmand or Mahabrahmand, or every perfect thing in the universe is designed with Divyank colony, and that is what the message is there in Tat Tvam Asi. Tat mean that. That means divine nature. Tvam means every article. Asi is identical. My understanding of Tat Tvam Asi is a great mathematical concept that everything, Tat meaning, as far as I'm concerned, is only divine nature who has created everything perfectly. Tvam means everything. Asi means identical. Divine nature and all the perfect objects of the universe are identical only. And that is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma from the beginning till days. And in the light of the modern sciences, I'm trying to explain that step by step. And this particular graphic presentation is also made by me. It also represents Divyank only. You see the outer one is a 22 by 21 ratio of orbit, which is a symbolic representation of a revolving soul itself. The inside, you have 10 pentagons, means there are 10 stages of development. First is Brahma, this is Dasartha. Inside you have 5.534419 are the Panchbhutas of Shiva, which complete the whole thing. In this, all the modern science and the spirituality merge together as a bridge. And this symbol of Divyank, mathematical design of Divyank, and also the Tantra, and also the mantra. All the four things with this itself, I'm going to show how beautiful is Sanatana Dharma from Rig Veda right up to Akhand Sutra. You are going to see the beauty as such in this one video itself. I'm going to just flow with as my Atma reveals itself to me, and let me share the same thing with the world as such. Now, I'm coming to very close to once again the same statement which I've been making for quite some time. An honest statement. Sanskrit. The scriptures composed and compiled in Sanskrit script made me recognize, conceive, and reveal the divine design of nature called Divyank. I'm making it very clear. Had I not understood Sanskrit and not read Vedas, Upanishads, and scriptures written in Sanskrit as such, I would not be been able to see Yantra Vidya, Mantra Vidya, Tantra Vidya, and Ganit Vidya of Akhand Bharat Sanatana Dharma as clearly. Now, with the help of Divyank, we can transform the study, research, and publication all the 64 arts and sciences with impeccable wisdom for everyone. That is the project, and that beauty is seen only in Sanskrit language. And I made it very, very clear. In Sanskrit is also designed with 7 levels. And that is again a beauty in mathematics alone. No other language has such a beautiful thing associated with the human body, solar system, spiral galaxy, and Mahabrahmand, that the sound of the entire universe, Shruti, is heard by the Brahmans of Akhand Bharat. And then they are the one in the form of Sanskrit language. They have been able to show the beauty of that in a very cryptic language. And to understand the real beauty, we all in the world, everyone in the world should experience Sanskrit. It's not the language which you can understand by teaching by Sanskrit teachers. Let me also one thing very clear. This is something you got to experience within you. If you experience all those 52 aksharas within your body, or for that matter 54 aspects within your body, and then 108 otherwise, only then you will experience Sanskrit, and that is what is going to tell. And I can tell you, I have experienced Sanskrit within my body. Each word, whether it's a vowel or consonant or expressions of combinations, I can feel within my body. And what I've experienced within my body, the kind of experience is given, the knowledge is given, is what I have been talking for the last so many years. And I have also shown that I'm the first person in the world who is able to produce 8 hertz alpha frequency throughout the brain with eyes open, ears open, all the senses open, and that is the sound of the universe, and that is what I'm reflecting in the form of alpha spindle for the world as such. That is again a point. Everything is unique because it is experienced and given and understood Sanskrit, and that is what I'm talking about. Now let's move on to the next stage. Now, Sanskrit, as I told you very clear, sun means it equilibrium. As means good qualities. Krit means action. This Sanskrit is an action which makes you to equilibrium or perfect homeostasis to make you very perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise and happy. And the Shruti is directly heard sounds of Sanskrit from the universe which I am talking about. I have nothing against anybody, but the script is called Devanagari, divine nature for the world, is also something which I have experienced. The Brahmins had made it very clear, and I'm grateful to the Brahmins. They maintained the sanctity of this language of Sanskrit in Vedas, Upanishads, and other scriptures, and maintained in India, Akhand Bharat, till today. Hats off to the Brahmins who emphasized on understanding Sanskrit and bringing it to the world, that worlds should understand it, and that is only way you can understand a uniform language for the world. Now let us explore, enumerate, explain Sanskrit completely, this particular video, and let us educate, enlighten, empower everyone fully so that there is uniformity in entire world with education, with knowledge, with power. So there is a peace for the entire world. I do not want any fight, any argument at all. It is all the reflection of our ignorance. Once we are all completely educated, there will not be differences. People will understand where they belong. They'll contribute in their contribution, all the 64 languages, separately and together. That is the objective of Akhand Vidyashram, and that is the objective of Impeccable. That is the beauty of Sanskrit. That is the beauty of Akhand Bharat itself. Let us enlighten everybody completely. Then second thing, now I'm coming to very close to very enlightening thing. There are four Mahavakyas. Four mean four. Great statements. And in that I'm talking about four Vedas and four Upanishads as such. Now I'm bringing back to four Vedas which we know is Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samved and Atharvaved. Then four Upanishads only I'm going to talk about it, which bring the beauty of these four Vedas alone. One from all the four, and four Upanishads only. I'm not talking of 108 Upanishads. And then corresponding philosophies which the world has given is also I'm going to redefine again. Because as such, there are two philosophies in which Akhand Bharat is given. Dvait philosophy, that means I and God are two separate entities. Advait, me and consciousness are one. But I have come to realize there is a third one which is more important, is Tret Pravidya, which I call it, where me, Jivatma as such, my Antaratma, Aditi, Kundalini or Antaratma, as such, and then greater universe, Paramatma. When all the three are experienced simultaneously within your physical body, only then you become complete. So this Tret Pravidya is one defined concept, but glimpses of it have been seen earlier also. And that is also I'm going to show in this particular thing. And look at this particular statement which is there at the bottom. This is taken from internet by the people who have given. This is not my work. Let me make it clear. This is by other spiritual people talking about Vedas and reasoning as four Mahavakyas as such from Google, available for the world by enlightened Brahmins of Akhand Bharat. Now let's try to understand the first Mahavakya, the great statement. And I always say the oldest Ved is Rig Veda only. But I have written about is the Aitreya Upanishad, which is the reflection of Rig Veda. So we are very specific, and I can tell you the word used as an expression of Rig Veda and Aitreya Upanishad is Prajnanam Brahman or Pragyan Brahman. So again, I have been talking about Agyan, ignorance, then Gyan, philosophy, then Vigyan is science. When I talk of Pragyan, it's absolute wisdom. Then I go further to Akhandita and higher levels in 7 levels again. But here, Rigved is talking about Pragyan itself. And when I talk about Rigved, I make it very clear. It's the most important Ved, the first one. Everything is there itself. And it talks about atoms, elements, molecules, compounds, and cells and everything which we should know. Beauty of that is there in Rig Veda. The most beautiful statement of Rig Veda, as I understand, is Agni. Maximum written about Agni. Agni means who is able to see that fire in Rig Veda will understand all the atoms, element, molecules, and everything within the human body to understand Tantra completely, and also the mantra completely, and so convert into Yantra as well as Ganit Vidya as such. But when I come to say of Aitreya Upanishad is one Upanishad which sage Atriya has written it from Rig Veda. I really worship him, Aitreya Upanishad, because sage has talked about perfect human body as such. At the same time, as I respect Rishi Aitreya, I also respect his wife Anusuya, who is the one responsible for making the Tatriya as such. How he converted Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh into three children, merged them together, and gave the form of Aitreya Upanishad to the world, where Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all the three in one body, 6 arms, 4 Vedas, and all the things with 4 dogs. Again, when say 4 dogs, the picture is very, very clear on Aitreya Upanishad. I have already shown it before, and that is the beauty. Now, based on that, Prajnanam or Pragyan Brahman is a wisdom. It's absolute wisdom. There's no doubt about that. And omnipresent, omniscient, omnipresent nature is spoken about in this particular Rig Veda and Aitreya Upanishad very clearly. There's a beauty of Aitreya Upanishad. This is talking about low pollen, the guardian, which people call it as spontaneous. But there is beautiful statement of Apana, the one which can take the food, which nobody has been able to translate and decode. I am glad that I've done that and shown. It's talking about a growing child in a mother's womb, and Apana is where child's fetus things are coming out, and he gets all the things through the umbilical cord only. That's where Apana can be used for throwing out and taking in for a growing child. I think that's again a mystery in this particular thing which I have decoded for the world. I think once we start understanding this, then we'll understand the beauty of Rig Veda and Aitreya Upanishad as such. But concept as in particular picture is talking about Dvait philosophy. That means fetus which is growing in the mother's womb is Jivatma. For example, it's me. Then how I can understand my mother, how I can the universe. And that is a declaration of duality. Dvait philosophy is then in Rig Veda completely. Rig Veda outright is beauty of Dvait philosophy as a Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and devotion, that as a me as a child can understand the beauty of universe directly through Shruti itself. So as I've written, Bhakti Yoga and Ishwar Pranidhana is the center of Rig Veda and Aitreya Upanishad. That is of surrendering yourself to the God is the first concept which every one person should know if you're going to become universal consciousness. And that is astha required. And Bhakti Yoga is the devotion with which you got to believe that whole universe is created by the greatest mathematician of the world. It's a perfect way. And once we have the devotion, that is the one is going to teach us. Only then we can learn. We can learn from the books at all. Books are telling us to go, but unless until we contemplate on that, we will not be able to see the beauty as such. I think that is very clear in first Mahavakya of Rig Veda and Aitreya Upanishad itself. Have Bhakti Yoga, surrender to God, and have a faith as an astic, not as a nastic. Is the first thing which is strength in me. I always believed from my childhood till today that I am only a student. I will remain as a student. I am not a guru. I am not a teacher. I am only sharing my things as I have experienced. And I have lots and lots and miles to go in the process. That's the reason every video is becoming better and better, because I'm trying to show my experience in everything in a very conclusive way. Now let's go to the second Mahavakya. Great statement. Second Ved, which is very important, is Yajurved. And the statement is in Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad, is the most precise Upanishad after Aitreya Upanishad, which I consider is great. And for that, I respect, worship Maharishi Yajnavalkya, who is a writer of this particular thing very clearly. And the conversation with which he has given the knowledge to the world in a very precise, concise. Hats off to him. Hats off to his wife Maitri, and hats off his discussion with Gargi also. And these are all parts of Brihad Upanishad made me understand Aham Brahmasmi. First one is a Bhakti Yoga as well as self-surrender to God. And this is a creation of Lokpalan in Aitreya Upanishad. But in Brihad Upanishad is talking about himself as a student of Surya and as a guru, and is talking about he has all the beauty of Surya within him. So Aham Brahmasmi, I am like Surya, is what he is talking about. He is giving as authority after experiencing it. I am like the ultimate. So this statement I can understand very clearly. I am like God. Aham mean me. Brahma is a creator. Asmi, like we are I am like the ultimate Brahman. Nirankar Nirgun Brahman. Sakar Sargun Brahman. And all the things I have experienced within me. That's a beautiful statement. And that way this particular statement and Sanskrit shlokas in Brihat Upanishad, in my opinion, that are world class by themselves. I have spoken about them over period, and we will talk more and more about Brihat Arya Upanishad because I respect him, the one who is talking about universal consciousness experienced by him as a student of Surya itself. He does not take any other person as a guru. He gets from Surya and Saraswati only knowledge. And I also make it, I have very identical to Maharishi Yajnavalkya. For me, Surya is mine and all the Panchagraths, and that's why I've been able to see the beauty as such. And the real beauty to unfold for me and mathematical design, I think this is the Upanishad which made me comprehend Divyank as such. And that is a phenomenal part. So coming to the first one was Dvait philosophy. Jivatma and Paramatma are two separate things. Here, Advait philosophy of monotheism. Jivatma and Paramatma are identical. So I've come to the conclusion, Aham Brahmasmi is a beautiful statement. If I understand myself, I understand Brahma completely. So that is Advait philosophy becomes very important. So first is Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. Second is Gyan Yoga, an experience of divine within you. And then talking about the knowledge experience can take you to Ganit Vidya thereafter. I think that's the beautiful part. So the knowledge of divine nature is the real yoga. Yoga means union with Jivatma. I am one with God. Once I experience that, I know the beauty of that as such in this particular second statement. Phenomenal. I have experienced the first one as a Bhakti Yoga, that's my foundation. Second, Karma Yoga. Third, Gyan Yoga, experience within me, and talk from my experience, not for anything other than right up to me and Paramatma are one as such up to this particular level. When come to the third, is Adharved, and the beauty is in Mandukya Upanishads. Is the third Upanishad which I consider the most important Upanishad because there are only 12 statements. Smallest Upanishad, just 12 statements, nothing more. But it's talking about Om only. Akara made of 7 parts, Yukara made of 7 parts, Makara made of 7 parts, and Turiya made of the one, where the statement is very clear. Brahma's beauty is there in Mandukya Upanishad within 22, which is 22 by 21. Akara, 7 parts. Yukara, 7 parts. Makara, 7 parts. And Turiya, who is able to experience the 22 by 21 of Mandukya Upanishads understand Atharvaved completely, and as a result, the statement is, I am Atma Brahman. My Atma is God. So first was universe as such is Dvait. Second, he and Atma is together. Here we are bringing a third element into the picture. My Atma is Brahman. First is Jivatma, I am. Then universe is two. Then me and universe as one is a statement. Here is a third element of Atma. My Atma is Brahman. That means Atma is also a reflection of universal consciousness which you got to experience. And that has been shown in that particular statement, Vashishta Advait philosophy of integrity, which has not been explained by anybody else. But actually, Vashishta is talking about third element of Antaratma. Same thing is spoken in Gita also. Krishna is Purusha, is also Prakriti, is also Atma. He represents all the Purusha, Purushartha, everything in one. So what they are very not, which have not been recognized as a Tret Pravidya, has been given as Vishishta Advait only, which is confusing by and large. Now I'm putting the whole thing as a third one, as a Siddha Yoga, a self-realization, and I gave it Tret Para Vidya. Oneness of Jivatma, Antaratma and Paramatma, all the three together. That is the beauty I've seen in every religion by and large. I'm not going to name anything. I will leave it as a Tret Pravidya is my consciousness. My Jivatma is perfect. My Antaratma is perfect. And Paramatma is perfect. Once you know that, then you know Bhakti Yoga is important, Karma Yoga is important, Jnana Yoga is important, Vigyan Yoga is important, Pragyan Yoga is important, Siddhi Yoga is important, Akhand Yoga is important. Once you come to this particular level, then only you can move on to much higher level. As we are proceeding from 3, we have come to very clear to me, my Atma and my Paramatma are similar in nature. And that is self-realization which I have experienced thanks to Mandukya Upanishad, which I do not know which Rishi has written it. But whosoever has written it, hats off to him as such. Now coming to the fourth Mahakavya. And I make the statement very clearly. This is a sense of Samaved. Samaved is again something which is very clear about different arts. And beauty is found in Chandogya Upanishads. Rishi Chandogya statement given in Chandogya Upanishad is phenomenal. And the beauty of Prajapati speaking about Atma to Virochan and Indra or self-realization is a big statement. And in that statement also it talks about them as a first stage of 32 years, which actually are 7 as reflection of the waking consciousness itself. Waking consciousness is 7 parts, which is shown as a 32 years. The second part, a dream consciousness, which is you, which is again 32 years, which is actually represents 7 only. Third, again, is talking about 32 years, but actually 7 years of deep sleep. I think that is beautiful. Waking consciousness, 7 parts. Dream, 7 parts. Deep sleep, 7 parts. But within that 21 part, you do not see the beauty. Only 22nd part is very clear where 5 years are taken. That is beauty one place where is very hidden mathematically is talked about it. But at the same time, Chandogya Upanishad also makes it very clear. The solar system is made of 21 parts. To go beyond to the solar system is the 22nd part which needs to be taken. That beauty is also in Chandogya Upanishad. Hats off to Rishi Chandogya, who has given divine mathematics so clearly, also made you also to think. Unless until you understand divine mathematics completely, you cannot really understand Chandogya Upanishad at all. The beauty of brilliance is there. And that particular statement, Tat Tvam Asi, appears only in one of the shlokas in Chandogya Upanishad. It is not in Samved. Let me also make it. Samved does not talk about Tat Tvam Asi. It is from Chandogya Upanishad, but a sense of Samved with all the 64 art is there. So their general perception is it's an instruction philosophy. You believe that this is there, this is there. But that's what most of the people say. Tat Tvamasi mean that you are that. I do not see that as I made in the beginning. I'm again repeating it. Tat Tvamasi does not mean to me that you are like that or you are like that, you are like a god. Is not a statement, in my opinion, come what may be. My experience, conviction is very clear. Tat mean divine nature. Tvam mean everything. Asi is identical. That's where everything, Tvam is like divine nature. Tat. I think what has made me to bring it to the, if this is a statement which is true, then there should be a divine mathematics in that. And that made me, if everything is identical and statement is so clear and mathematical design is crystal clear in Chandogya Upanishad as a 22 to a 21, and also the 10 lights of sun going is Vishnu is the Dasavatar is also very clear, and Shiva's Rudra Avatar and other things are also very clear. But let me make one thing very clear. Brahma's 22 by 21 is very clear in Ved and Upanishads. 10 stages of development as a Vishnu avatar is very clear in Ved and Upanishads. But Shiva's Panchabhutas divine matter digits were not recognized by anyone before 2010, and I'm glad that with help of my Antaratma, Paramatma and all the divine natures, I've been able to search for that and give the world as a 0.34419 for the first time in the history of mankind. And that is what is going to change the knowledge completely for the world to understand spiritual science as such. And I'm glad I'm recognized as a spiritual scientist. I'm a mathematician. I'm going the wisdom of the world with all the mathematical conclusive in the thing which has never been done in the history of mankind. So that's the reason I say I'm a student, I'm sharing it. I'm not a guru, I'm not a teacher, I'm a, whatever it is, I'm only a student and student only, and that's how I've been able to give this to the world. So I think that is becoming. Now let's understand this particular thing. Let's understand the meaning of tat first. Because the problem is, unless and we understand tat, then only you can understand tat tvamasi is identical. So let's try to understand tat. Now, the first thing which I think tat tvamasi is a statement which is given. It's a Sanskrit statement, there is no doubt what. And it's a treatise which, as I say, many people translate as I am that, and thou is repeating again. And one of the most forthcoming is great statement Upanishads. Is the translation and impeccable wisdom is a question which I'm raising. And I'm saying that statement is not true. Again, I'm repeating it. Let's explore and explain the concept fully. Now, I'm making a statement which is from Tat Savitur Varenyam. Is the first statement of Gayatri Mantra from Rig Veda. Rig Veda Gayatri Mantra starts with Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo Yonaha Prachodhyat. But the word Tat, for the first time used in Rig Veda, is with Gayatri Mantra itself. That means the secret of divine mathematics is there in Gayatri Mantra itself. In that says Tat, Tvam, Tat, and now it is very clear. Tat means I am like God, or I am like divinity, divine nature as such. So from that point of view, I have made it very clear. This is what made me think if the design is identical, there should be mathematical design to prove it. Because without divine mathematics, you cannot prove anything scientifically right. Philosophies are okay, but conclusion has to be scientifically. Agyan to vigyan to pragyan to akhandita is more important, where there is no confusion whatsoever till you reach the akhandita. You should never stop. And I think having done that in the last 60, 70 years of my life, I've come to a stage. This is the beauty which I have experienced, and I'm sharing that for the world. There I'm able to understand that very clearly. It is divine nature. Now come to the another statement. Tathastu is a word which we always use to bless others. And the statement is Tathastu mean let it be so is the statement given by everybody. But I am convinced beyond doubt that it is not of let it be so. I am not going to, I never mean whatever the person is asking me to bless, I want to give that. I make it very clear. And I only tell everyone, Tathastu mean, let divine nature manifest into you. Whatever you deserve should be there, not what you're asking for. I would not let the mind, because everybody wants to be healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy. But you have to achieve by yourself. Divine things should manifest the way you work for it. So that way, Karma Yoga becomes very important. Tathastu, when I say Tathastu, I make it very clear to everybody. Whatever best is for you, which you earn by yourself, learn by yourself, manifest was important. You should not be given something more than what you deserve. You have to earn. You have to be a karma yogi. You have to have a bhakti. You have to have a gyan. You got to have vigyan. You got to have pragyan. You got to everything on your own. No reservation, nothing free to anything. Everybody has to earn on that. That's the reason in political science I make it. Reservation of any nature given to anybody is a damage to the person itself. It's not helping because you're giving position to idiots which cannot do anything, which only by force are trying to make people follow, which is creating all the problem in the world as a terrorism of the highest order. And all I see the politicians, other things are only putting their pressure on other things. Nobody is letting the wise person come up. Wise, intelligent person in the world would have the wisdom, but in front of the sword power, they are not able to do. But there are wise people who have written Veds, Upanishads, other things, including me. We keep a low profile, but let our knowledge talk through the divine mathematics, and this is. And I think that is what I mean when I say for myself, what I deserve, let me get that, not something which I want. I want perfection, but I should earn it. And that is the message which I'm giving for the politician, for the educators, for everybody, and from my 70 years experience, because unless until you are complete, you should not be in a good position. That completion is being put through Akhand Vidyashram for the uniformity as education for everyone. This is a plane for everybody, nothing with the sport or power of any nature at all. Let Gyan, Vigyan, Pragyan, Akhandata over, and that is only thing in the Ganit Vidya can change. That is my point, and that is what Tatha Astu is all. Again, Tat only. That is divine nature should come, and you have to earn it. No reservation, no nothing at all free. Everything people have to work. So you got to be in Bhakti Yoga, you got to be in Karma Yoga, you got to be in Gyan Yoga, you got to be in Vigyan Yoga, you got to be in Pragyan Yoga, you got to be in Akhandita on your own only. Not by anything other than that. You should be a walking, talking encyclopedia because you have experienced that divinity within you. And that is my life, and that's what I'm sharing about. Now come another great statement, Om Tat Sat. There is a Tat here also. This is like what Mandukya Upanishad is talking about. Everything is in Om only. Om is the divine nature. Well, that is the truth, and that is what and that is what I told you in Mandukya Upanishad 22 by 21, clear. Same thing in Chandogya Upanishad, and same thing is shown in other Vedas. So that way, Om Tat Sat is Brahmanka 22, 21. I think that's very clear. We have come to the stage. Mandukya Upanishads of 22 by 21, Chandogya Upanishad of Tat, and of course, Rigved as well as some other Ayurvedic Veds, concepts are very clear. I think now statement is very clear. Om itself we can experience. Now come to the concept. Another tat word is in Tattva. And this talks about Panch Tattvas. And five elements of divine nature, which is solid element, which is Prithvi, Jal or Apa, Vayu, Agni, fire, Vayu and Akash. All the five are understood only then you can understand Tat completely. All the five aspects you can see, and I have put this picture is a modified the universal consciousness with Om in the center. That is the third eye, and that is Tat and Tva, Tatva. And that is what Rig Ved is also talking about. Panch Bhutas only. and that is Shiva as such. And that is the third eye of Shiva, which is Om, and that is Divyank as such. Now we come to the Rig Veda once again. As I told you, the first Gayatri mantra appears in Rig Veda in Mandala 10 as Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo Yonaha Prachodhyat. The word Tat means divine nature of sun is the light which we got to see. Again, Rig Veda is saying very clearly that sunlight, Savitur is the sun, light, that is the divine nature. That is enlightening. That is what Yajnavalkya is also talking about. That is what I am talking about. Let Surya be our enlightener. And that Gayatri Mantra is started with Surya alone. So prayer to Surya starts in Rig Veda itself. I think that where I understood that there should be a lot of meaning in Tat so that we can understand the mantra as such. And that is also what Prajapati is also talking about. He says, this is the perfect mantra, I agree. But then Lord Brahma or Prajapati meditated on Tat. And what happened thereafter? Let's talk about the next stage. This is Rig Veda. The second stage is the Yajurveda. And in that particular Veda, the Gayatri mantra puts another 3 words in front of it. Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo Yona Prachad are preceded by Bhur Bhava Swa. There are 3. When you say Bhur, it is Mother Earth. Bhuva is atmosphere, Antariksh. Swa is Swarga. So again, Bhumi is made of 7 parts. Antariksh is made of 7 parts, and there are 7 heavens, and that is the beauty of 777, which I have spoken about it. Anyone who understands 7 would understand that. So again, Bhur Bhava Swa is made of 21 parts here. Yajurveda makes it very clear. Gayatri mantra with Bhur Bhava Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo Yona Prachodhyat is made of 21 parts, and that level is very clear. And that is in Brihat Upanishad, beautifully done with it. So, Tat means Bhur Bhava Swa, and also the Om, A, U, T. Turiya we had not come to as such. And I have told you the Om in that. Now, in that particular process, we have come to this particular stage. Bhumi is made of 7 parts, Antariksh is made of 7 parts, and 7 heavens where Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and others are very clear, and that is where uniformity again in the thing. 7 names, 7 planets, 7 days is uniform on that, the one which we can see very clearly. In Navagraha, Rahu and Ketu are as Earth and Antariksh. What do you say? Asteroid belt. I think things are becoming very clear. Once you're able to see, you see the beauty in everything which is done by the world as such. Now come to the question of Gayatri Mantra as we know of, which I have also written. Om Bhurva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo. This is a particular statement which is known as a Gayatri Mantra as such, which everybody is choosing. It's starting with Om now. Om has been added at the 3rd level. Let's understand, and that is where I made the first symbol of a graphic presentation as a Gayatri for Akhand Vidya, Akhand Foundation, my charitable trust. How it was improvised, I have already shown. Now the meaning of Gayatri Mantra, I am not going into details of it. You can read it as such. Now I am going to take it to the next level as Maha Gayatri Mantra. Again, in it is Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Swa, Om Maha, Om Jana, Om Tapa, Om Satyam. 7 Vyatis have been used with Om in this particular thing. This is Mahanarayani Upanishad. Mahanarayani Upanishad talks about Mahagayatri Mantra as the 7 Vyatis which are talked with 7 saying everything is made of. I think that is again a beautiful mathematical design. Then Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Diyo Yona Prachad is the same mantra which is in Rig Veda itself, and also the something which is there as such. You can see Yajurveda also, Mahanarayana Upanishad. But in the end, Om Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam Brahma Bhur Bhava Swa Om. I think that's a very beautiful part. In the beginning, or the seventh part, in the end, you are talking about the universal consciousness as such. First is the Bhumi, then Antariksh. Now heaven is also seven part, and that is what it is all about. I think that is a phenomenal mathematics in Mahanarayani Upanishad, that 7 plus 7 plus 7 is very clear in that particular thing as a 21 statement itself. I think that is phenomenal divine mathematics, a tat within this is. Now I'm coming to the mantra, which is very, very important, is Akhand Gayatri mantra, which is given for the first time in Akhand Sutra in 2018. And it talks about Gayatri mantra with 10 Vyatis, not 7 chakras. Make it, we are taking it to Vishnu level. Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Swa, Om Maha, Om Jana, Om Tapa. These 6 are very similar to what is in Mahanarayani Upanishad. But after that, Om Gyan, the knowledge, philosophy, Om Vigyan, the science, Om Pragyan, the wisdom, and Om Satyam is the last one. If you go to Satyam, you got to go to the process, Agyan to Gyan to Vigyan to Pragyan. So in the Gyan, Vigyan and Pragyan is all the Upanishads and Vedas are very clear. So they're taking you to 10 things, not 7 chakras. And these are the 10 chakras with the human body, which I have shown it very clearly through Divyank itself. Then Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimhi Dio Yona Prachad is the same mantra which is there in Rigved itself. Then come to the question next. Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Sava, Om Jyotir, Om Vayur, Om Amrita, essence, Om Adi Prashakti, Om Gayatri, Om Aditi, Om Jivatma, Om. So again in the end is the 10 manifestations of universal consciousness within the human body. So this is talking about 22 ohms and 10 vyatis. I think that makes something very clear. Now you're coming mathematically very close to Divyank. No wonder. This has helped me to take to Divyank as such. Now we go to the next stage. This is Divyank, the divine design of nature, which is Tat. It said 22 by 21 is Brahma as such. 21 levels, the solar system is made. To go beyond the solar system, the 27th step is very clear in Chandogya Upanishad. Same thing is Mandukya Upanishad. Same thing is Brihad Upanishad. Same thing is actually in Aitreya Upanishad also, as well as Rigved also. Then 10 stages of development, 10 Vishnu avatars are reflections. There are 10 stages of development only, nothing 9 and 11. But Shiva's 0.34419 is revealed for the first time as the Panchbhutas 5 names. As a result, Shiva, the third conclusion, is 0.34. When put together, it comes to 1.618034. How I have manifested, how I have shown in a graphic design through Divyank rectangle, how it was formed using mathematics, and also the further of that I have given in math, and then finally made into a symbol which you can see. Now you see how beautiful are these 4 Vedas, 4 Upanishads, and mathematical design to think. And this is what is say everything's uniformity. And I'm someone who understands this completely, the one who is going to see the universal consciousness as such. And that is what we are going to come to the last. Now, all that is presented in this form again. You can see Ida Pingla Sushmana, you can see 10 stages, you can see all the mathematical design is there. I'm not going to talk much about it. I think for this particular video, this particular information as such is more than enough. That let us talk about Tantra Vidya, let's more talk Yantra Vidya, let's talk of Mantra Vidya, let's talk of Ganit Vidya, let us bring it to Divyank and then see the beauty in pursuing anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology. As a result, I've been able to show the knowledge which we have in the world, difference between man-made concept to the divine mathematics, how divinity, Divyank, has made me give the world perfect from every level, for that matter. Female menstrual cycle is designed with Divyank alone, and every other information about is defective. Only one I am talking about is perfect. Same thing with DNA, same thing every level. Once you do, you really know the beauty. And once we understand the way the nature has designed, only then we can bring Akhandata, integrity, and that is. Which Brihat Upanishad is talking about Purnata. To Sampurnata, to Akhandata, we got to give it. And that's it. I think that's enough for the day. Thank you very much.